Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett. I'm your host, Bridgett Ellison. It is 7:30 on the dot on this Thursday, February 8th. Hope you are keeping warm. We have an urgent plea this morning for help for the homeless here in Orlando. We have learned from the Homeless Coalition. They had a devastating fire. Nearly 250 people had to be evacuated from the men's shelter here after flames broke out yesterday. And it was quickly put out, but the coalition is saying that this building is seriously damaged with water and flooding. And of course, this is, an essential building for hundreds of our homeless population here in Central Florida. And the kitchen that serves the nearby women and family shelter is also damaged. So the coalition is asking for things right now, monetary donations to help them, blankets, warm clothing. We've had some cold weather overnight here in the past several days. So it's a tough time. If you can help at all with any monetary donations, blankets or warm items, please help the Coalition for the Homeless. We have all the details on how you can get involved and help support right now as they have this urgent need on clickorlando.com. But anything that you can do would definitely be a help. So we don't like to bring you that kind of news, but we know that, we have a lot of big hearts out there that can help get results. So thank you for anything that you can do this morning. And, there is some good news when it comes to the weather. We're starting off cool this morning, but things will be warming up soon. We've been waiting for this. Meteorologist Michelle Morgan's in the Pinpoint Weather Center this morning for Candace. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Bridget. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this warm up.
I think many of us are. That's the beauty with Florida weather. If you like it chilly, it'll be chilly for a little bit. And if you like it warm, just wait for a few days. We're back to that standard Florida weather.
So
and that's what's going to happen.
Dragging day? Is this what you call the coat dragging day, or we still need the jacket kind of the rest of the day?
This is where you need a few layers before you head out the door this morning. As you're getting the kids ready, definitely they'll need a sweatshirt, a beanie hat. But later on this afternoon, it is going to be absolutely gorgeous. We're talking about 70s, light winds, no rain, and plenty of sunshine. So here's a look at your current temperatures, getting you ready to head out the door. It's chilly in Marion County. We're looking at lower 40s in Ocala, 44 degrees in the Villages, lower 50s in Orlando, as well as Kissimmee. As we head to the coastline, we're in the middle to upper 50s. Really not that bad of a start. So here's a look at your bus stop forecast. Again, lower 50s at the bus stop, so bundle up, clear skies, and then we are warm and sunny as we head into the afternoon as the kids get out of school. So your hour by hour forecast will be in the upper 60s by 11, light winds, sunny by 1, and then we're really looking at a picture perfect day with our daytime highs reaching the middle 70s. In Orlando. Check this out. Your forecast highs across Central Florida. Everybody getting into the 70s today. If you're planning on heading out to the beach, not in the water, it's a little bit too cold. But if you're walking on the beach, the weather will be fine. The winds will be nice and light, but keep in mind for today, even though the winds are much lighter, we are looking at a high surf advisory in effect through 10, a high rip current risk. And also for my boaters, a small craft advisory in effect through the 4 o'clock hour today. So again, still looking at hazardous boating and beach conditions, but things should improve as we head into the weekend. As we take a look at the satellite and radar imagery, just to give you an idea of the setup, air of high pressure to our north will keep things tranquil as we go through the next several days. And Super Bowl Sunday is looking fantastic in Florida. It's going to be nice and warm, a bit breezy, but no rain in the forecast. So as we take a look at future radar, looking pretty quiet as we go through the afternoon hours. If you have any plans this evening, probably dinner, looking pretty good. We're looking at those clouds beginning to clear out, and then overnight temperatures dipping into the 50s. Now, I do want to talk about those wave heights. It is a little bit elevated, as I mentioned, so we are looking at rough seas. And things will continue to improve as we head into the big Super Bowl weekend. So here's your 7-day, 75 today. It'll be a chilly start tomorrow in the upper 50s, but we'll see upper 70s Friday afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Now, the weekend forecast is looking great. Whatever you're planning on doing, the temperatures are going to feel just fine. Upper 70s on Saturday, 82 degrees on Super Bowl Sunday. It'll be breezy. And then our next cold front arrives on Monday. It'll still be warm with a high of 84. A few showers are possible. And we'll see a little bit of that cooler air moving into the area on Tuesday, bringing down our highs near average in the lower 70s. So really not a bad
Hmm.
forecast, Bridgett.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's picture perfect. And, when I think about the Super Bowl, I think about all of that delicious food. So you can get out, grill out, maybe even have the TV outside if you want, and have some
Oh
fans
yeah,
on. It's going to be
definitely.
really nice.
Oh yeah, and what's your favorite food? Because for me,
Oh,
when it's Super Bowl Sunday, I love chicken wings. I could just sit there and just
yes.
eat them.
So that would probably be my top one, and right behind that probably the rotel dip. I don't know if you've ever made the rotel dip.
Oh yes, yep.
Yes, and then probably the barbecue meatballs.
Oh, How could I forget about that? I love
Mhm.
barbecue meatballs.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean it's so satisfying. Then you have all these
It
great
is,
entertainers, great entertainment, and then the football, which is
and then the
going
football.
right. I'm not so much into the football as much as I am to all the other the other accessories around, the
I
commercials,
know.
everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the commercials are fun, and the food is always great. And then having people, family, friends over,
Yes.
and then the halftime show. The halftime show really never disappoints.
You have to hit record though. I always tell people please hit record because you're going to miss something because you start talking to your friends or your loved ones and then you're not even watching and then
Oh yeah.
then you get the text or the call from a friend. Did you see such and such? And it's like, "Oh no, I missed it. I was
Oh
I
no,
was
I
on the
missed it.
grill or I was talking to someone." Yeah, so
Exactly. Yeah, that's a
yes.
really good idea. I think I'm gonna try that this year. I'm gonna record it.
For sure, because you'll want to go back and catch something you missed. Well,
That's
thank you for
right.
the nice forecast, Michelle. I love it.
You're so welcome. Enjoy.
All right, take care. See you a little later. All right, we want to tell you about a very interesting plan out of Marion County. They are looking at the idea of year round school expansion. It's a big discussion. It would impact, of course, thousands of local students. A school in Marion County has been selected to possibly try out this year round calendar model, and it's Wyomina Park Elementary School. They could soon be on what they're calling a modified calendar thanks to a pilot program approved by the state of Florida. And leaders in Marion County Public Schools say they're one of just 3 districts statewide selected for this 5-year pilot program. And the way it would work, students would still attend 180 days of school. They would still have the 12 weeks of break, but it would not be just for the summer. It would be spread out over the year, which I think would be very helpful for everyone. Staff and parents are set to meet tonight for a special meeting at the school at 5 p.m. So it's like you still get that full break, but it's going to be spread out, and the kids and the students and staff would be dealing with a year-round calendar. So it'll be an interesting 5 years to see what comes out of that. We want to take a quick break. We will be back to talk about loneliness and coping with loneliness with a licensed local counselor. So keep it here. Working on the Valentine boxes with my kids yesterday, trying to get them ready for the activities at school. But it is, one of those holidays we call it a commercial holiday, but it's one of those times where just like other holidays it can trigger certain feelings, sometimes positive and negative. And we have Dr. Treshonda Baucom with us this morning from Enriched Life Counseling. She leads a 5-member team there in Claremont. Good morning, Dr. Baucom.
Good morning, Bridget. Thank you for having me this morning.
It's great to have you, and I think this is just a timely topic with Valentine's Day coming up. And I think, some people joke and call Valentine's Day Singles Awareness Day. And I think there are lots of, positives as well as negatives wrapped up around these holidays. They can be triggering.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't ignore this holiday, whether you're inside of the stores, you see chocolates, flowers, everything geared towards it. If you're in social media, it's probably constantly in your feed, even starting up to this week. And so it brings about a lot of stress and lonely feelings, whether you're single, whether you're going through a breakup, or even if you're in a relationship but not satisfied. Around this time of the year, it definitely brings up some strong feelings of loneliness and just a reminder that I'm not connected to a loved one in a relationship.
So, when we look at tackling loneliness, how do you like to approach it? Does it depend on, of course, the person's situation? What are some of the tips you try to give people, whether it's, they've had a life change, such as, a death in the family, or like you mentioned, maybe breakups or, divorces, separations, just different losses that may be bothering them around this time of year, as well as moving forward, dealing with loneliness?
Absolutely. So, one thing that we try to do is just get people to recognize and acknowledge their true feelings, especially surrounding this time. Oftentimes, they try to minimize or downplay what they're feeling, might say, oh, that day doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. But inside is like bottling up, just a constant reminder. So, first, we want to just acknowledge our true feelings toward the day, because honesty with ourselves can help relieve some of those feelings. Not all of them, but it removes a little bit of the pressure. Next, share those feelings with someone, whether that's a friend, a coworker. We usually have someone that, if we're going through something, whether that's something sad or something we're excited to share, we usually have someone that we can call upon. So being honest with them, like, I'm not really looking forward to this holiday. This tends to be a tough time for me. Um, but I would also say that, I'm sure you've heard of Galentines or even Palentines. There's different ways to celebrate love, and it doesn't have to be in a partnered relationship. So, one thing that we could do is find someone to celebrate with, whether it's our friends, whether it's siblings, our parents. One thing that we like to do, a group of our friends, is, write note cards to those in nursing homes. So think of maybe
Yeah.
someone, you mentioned the Homeless Coalition. So that would be a great way to reach out to someone who too might be feeling the same way, and a nice way to show love towards others in those moments too.
And when you're looking at, like you said, the trappings of the ideas of romantic love and some of the cultural norms, you're encouraging people to step outside of that and explore other ways to show love in the community and in their circles, basically.
Absolutely, because loneliness really thrives off of not being connected. So the more that we can connect with others, and show that we do have connections, and not highlight the connections that we're missing out of our life. But there's plenty of ways to pour in and show love and receive love. Sometimes there's power in reaching out and helping others that helps fill our cup as well.
So, how do you encourage people to step out of their box or their bubble? Because sometimes, you may have someone who's shy, or they might be worried about rejection or being judged, or just someone taking them the wrong way. So then they're frozen. How do you break the ice? How do you encourage people to live a little and try something new?
Yeah. Sometimes we come up and look at your interests that you have and see what activities are going around in your local area that we might could tie that to. Sometimes when we're stuck in a rut, it's really hard to have clear thinking and think outside of that moment. So sometimes coming up with activities or looking at different ways we could volunteer or give, or look at different communities that need assistance during this time, or others who may be experiencing this same thing during this time. So sometimes it's just jotting down and brainstorming together and seeing which ones we can. And then what we might do is role play and practice some of those things,
Mm-hmm.
so that we can prepare statements so you're not as frozen when you get in it. And you already have some thoughts or ideas, and have practice and experience what thought may come up, what feeling may be expressed in those moments.
Mm-hmm. And when we look at overall the topic of loneliness, I think there have been more studies coming out recently showing just a larger a larger percentage of people than you might think really do struggle with this, year round. So, what are some of the concepts emerging in making sure that there's a difference between having healthy time to yourself, and then managing, making sure you're not lonely, and making sure you're working toward trying to get out of that mindset or that feeling of loneliness?
Yes, and that is a great thing. All of us experience loneliness, stress, anxiety, but there is definitely a difference between experiencing those things clinically and for clinical, when it starts to affect your social life, your emotional life, when you're no longer wanting to do the things that once brought you joy, then that's when I would say it would be a time to reach out because now it's having an overall effect on your everyday life. Um, and sometimes if we continue those things, we're learning different habits and it's harder to get out of that cycle.
And sometimes it can be difficult to open up about those things because people are worried about
Mhm.
judgment. What is that first step in, maybe coming up with a better plan on how to feel better? Is it making that call to talk to a counselor? How do you break down that stigma of people taking that step?
Yes. So I would say it may definitely be if we're having feelings of, not wanting to reach out to a friend or love them because of the judgment factor. A therapist might be a great avenue for that because it is a place where this person doesn't truly know you. It is a judgment free zone. They know how to work clinically, they know the questions to ask. And they know the supports to put in place to help navigate through that. It's not that we have a magic wand and can eliminate any of these feelings, but it's a place to have a step by step plan on how we're going to work through, monitor progress, and also go back to look at different experiences that might be similar that have all been meshed together in this instance.
How can you explain or like normalize what it means to have some counseling? Because I think some people are afraid, oh gosh, what if I do this and then I get labeled, or what if I do this and then I can't get out of it, or I'm in therapy forever, or what do you tell people?
Yeah. So I always like to say if we start with the what ifs, that's our anxiety speaking. If we start with what ifs, the shoulds, that's thinking into the future and not letting us experience what's happening in the here and now. The only way for us to know and truly answer those questions are to be able to experience it. And it is scary. It is really scary. It's really scary to open up to someone we don't know. It's scary to make that first phone call. It's scary to reach out, but at the same time, it's also scary to continue experiencing the depths of what we've been experiencing on our by ourselves without professional help. Maybe we have tried to reach out to friends and it hasn't really got us, or maybe it helped us for a little. But really take your due diligence to find a therapist that you connect with because that too is a personal adventure. It's a relationship that you build with them too. So you want to make sure that you find someone that you feel safe with and comfortable with to open up to. And there are a lot of therapists in Central Florida, and it might take experiencing a couple to know, like, okay, this is the type of therapist that I'm looking for and that I need. And that's okay for you to take charge and leading that.
And it's more common than we think, but we are in Black History Month, and when we look at historically minority groups haven't always had the best track record of being as open to mental health care, and there aren't as many minority counselors available of the pool available out there, and there's a shortage overall for everyone when it comes to access to mental health care and counselors. What can you say about you know the whole picture of that, and how we can move forward and make sure everyone gets what they need?
Yeah, I like how you mentioned that because one of the thoughts that comes in when we first get clients, particularly minority clients, some of the comments may be like, "Oh, growing up, it was like only crazy people went to
Right.
counseling, or give it to God, and all your problems will go away."
Pray it all
So
away.
really, there's already this strong feelings towards even reaching out for help because taught to keep our feelings bottled up and not share it with others. um, and then we have the aspect of there are financial costs to counseling, but I would always say, like, if you have insurance, looking at your insurance to see which providers are in your network. That way the cost won't be as significant. There's plenty of resources, such as therapy for Black girls. If you're looking for a specific type of therapist, Psychology Today, you could filter out by different characteristics that you're looking for as well.
Well, it's awesome information. And how can we reach you? And what is the specialty there at Enriched Life Counseling? Do you have to come out to the office? Do you offer telehealth? Just how can we stay in touch?
Perfect. At Enriched Life Counseling, we offer therapy to couples, teens, adults, and children as young as 5. We offer in-person and virtual sessions. We do accept insurance, so we're in network with Aetna, Cigna, United, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. You can reach out and schedule a consultation via phone, 407-593-4500. You can also visit our website at enrichedlifecounseling.com and our social media pages, Dr. Treshonda Baucom on Instagram or Enriched Life Counseling on Instagram as well.
And you're taking new patients. You have a team of counselors there.
Yes, we do have a team of counselors who specialize in different modalities and treatments. So we like to say we have a counselor for every need.
Awesome. Well, great information, and I hope that it helps someone out there. Thank you, Dr. Baucom.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Have a great day.
You as well.
All right. Well, we do have a little bit of time to tell you about the Super Bowl coin. And I know that we've been mentioning this for a little bit of time now. Super Bowl 58, of course, just 3 days away. It'll be right here on WKMG this weekend on Sunday. And Central Florida has a great local connection to the big game because the coin that will be flipped in the coin toss is from right here, from a local mint right here. And News 6 anchor and insider guide Crystal Moyer has more on that.
Hey, it's your News 6 anchor and insider guide, Crystal Moyer here. Super Bowl 58 just days away, and there's a local company making unique souvenirs for fans all over the world. It's one of the most iconic moments of the Super Bowl. Team captains gathering at the 50-yard line for the coin toss. This will decide how the game begins. But where does the official Super Bowl flip coin come from?
We do it right here in Melbourne, Florida. The
Highland Mint opened in the early 1980s and has been flipping official NFL Super Bowl coins for more than 30 years. It all starts with melting silver and gold, and it's hot, 1,750 degrees. Pouring it into molds. The slabs of metal are extruded and turned into strips.
From there, we strike it into blanks. And then we take them to our presses.
That's where the official NFL Super Bowl designs are pressed into the coin on each side. The 49ers and Chiefs team logos on the front, Super Bowl 58 logo with the trophy on the back. Throughout the process, the coins are polished, cleaned, and inspected. Assembly Supervisor Garrett Snyder even got me involved in striking the numbers on each coin. Now, this is perhaps one of the most important parts of making the coin. It's all about authenticity, right?
Yes, yes. This is going to go directly to the NFL to be flipped at the game. So we have number 0, we have number 1. So 0 is for overtime, 1 is the one they're going to flip right before the game.
And the number 0, how many times has that coin been used?
1 time. Go ahead and pull that down. Okay. That'll switch the number. Now you're at number 1. Pull that down.
See? You see? You see? Number 1! Number 1 right there! The Highland Mint has been striking the limited edition Super Bowl flip coins for 31 years now, only producing 10,000 for each game.
Being there, you see it, you have kind of a memory. But when you have something physical in front of you to bring back that memory all the time, it makes it a lot more special.
And for our insiders, we're giving you an opportunity to snag one of these limited edition silver and gold Super Bowl flip coins. Just head to clickorlando.com/insider to enter. We'll pick 2 winners on Monday after the Super Bowl. In the studio, Crystal Moyer, Getting Results, News 6.
How cool is that? You need to enter to win, at least if not for yourself, but for that football lover or that coin collector, numismatist. I think that's the term. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, make sure you check that out on clickorlando.com/insider. Register to be an insider. You can always enter all these contests. So that's a really cool one. Here's something cool coming up tomorrow. Do you love Ale House? Do you like Florida's 4th Estate? We're combining both the two in a live show tomorrow night at the Ale House in Winter Park, and you don't want to miss this. News 6 anchors Ginger Gadsden and Matt Austin will be there live. We have legendary coach Lou Holtz in the rundown, and we'll be previewing all the fun leading up to the Super Bowl. It is a live taping. You do want to make sure you try to get there around in the 6 o'clock hour, because the show will be starting at 7. You want to make sure you're in place. You can order your zingers or whatever they have so many good specials at Ale House too. So we hope to see you there. And Crystal says there will be some swag bags that we're giving out. So make sure you check it out tomorrow. Can't wait to see you. That's going to do it for us. We'll be back at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Make it a great day.